the most interesting interview of all of them that we come across.
And he's not even that bad either. He's Gary Busey.
He's just Gary Busey. So he's not really rude necessarily. He looks like you may have said something that pissed him off, and he's thinking about whether or not he's pissed and wants to fight you immediately in his head the entire interview. He's always on that fine line. They're great to watch. Once again, those will be on our Facebook pages and stuff like that, or Facebook page and Instagram. Directed by great director Andrew Davis. It was Davis's sixth film as well, and he also directed Steven Seagal in Above the Law, probably my favorite early Seagal movie.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't think that's a coincidence that it happens to be Davis. I think Davis directs action movies extremely well.
Right.
He directed Code of Silence, starring Chuck Norris, which Ebert, as he said in that interview, thinks is Chuck Norris's best movie. The Package, starring Gene Hackman. And, fun thing, after this, he would go on to direct The Fugitive.
Yeah. And it was, Harrison Ford watching this movie is kind of, just a precursor if he was going to do The Fugitive or be in The Fugitive.
And he wanted to see Andrew Davis's work, and so he watched this movie, and he was like, oh.
Knocked it out of the park.
He crushed it. Yeah. I'd love to do a movie with this guy, and he did. And not only that, I believe I read that there were 9 people from this movie in The Fugitive.
Yeah.
So Andrew Davis crushed this film. Seagal was a pretty notorious control freak. Andrew Davis gave an interview later on in his career in 2013, I think, when he talked about what made him want to do this film, because he had worked with him before, so he knew what kind of perhaps control freak Steven Seagal was. And they said, well, he's only on screen 41 minutes.
You got to think, okay, I can do that.
And so Davis was like, okay, you know what? I can handle that for that paycheck. Tommy Lee Jones had previously worked with Davis on The Package, which we had mentioned earlier. This film was originally based on a spec script from Lawton called Dreadnought, which we mentioned at the very beginning of the podcast. Not a great name.
No, I guess
it's a type of ship in the
Navy.
It
is, yeah. But I kind of like the name, but I see where it doesn't. I definitely see where it doesn't fit. I mean, you think now, of course, Under Siege works, but you think I think back, what if it would have been called Dreadnought? What would we be sitting here talking about? It was called. They thought Under Siege. That's weird.
That's
why
true.
Why do we think that? Yeah.
I mean, we are looking. Hindsight can be 20/20.
Sure.
But something about Dreadnought.
I think donut immediately when I think Dreadnought.
I think donut. I think. I get donut. Yeah. I just don't see. I don't look at that and think, oh, I know that's a Navy ship.
No, yeah, definitely.
And there are titles that hint to something very specific of a branch of the military, something that is like a U-571, for instance.
Right.
It's like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Well, it's the boat they're on the entire movie. So, maybe it would have worked, maybe it didn't. He sold this script for 1 million Crispies. Ooh, baby.
Man.
But he had sway in it. He was swagging because he wrote, what was it?
Pretty Woman?
Pretty Woman. Heard of it.
Yeah.
That thing was a hit.
Yeah. Cried my eyes out.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Critically, this was by far Seagal's best movie. It's not even really close.
No.
There's nothing even. I mean, on Rotten Tomatoes, it got 79%, 79%. There's nothing.
I haven't probably seen anything above 20% from then on. I mean, maybe Glimmerman got 50%, or
Glimmerman was his next big release.
Yeah.
Seagal, Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I don't think. We're going to see anything.
Highest rated was, Under Siege. Lowest rated was The Foreigner with 0%. He and I do share a birthday.
Oh.
That's a fun little fact. Okay, well, he was in Machete.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was.
72%, but that had little to do with him.
Yeah.
Executive Decision, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Where he dies very early on in the movie.
5 minutes in.
5 minutes in. Well, this movie got 65%. So, Seagal's out there. He's working hard. I'm not going to shit on the guy, but...
you make it think or you think, what if Seagal just one day just said, I need to get my shit together. I've seen what other people have done, specifically Van Damme. What if I did, and of course it'd be a copy, everybody'd say he's doing it, but what if he did an existential movie like JCV?
Oh, I would love I would be first in line.
I would too. I mean, that would be so good. I mean, I can imagine, yeah.
Oh, I would love it, and he won't because he thinks they're all pussies, but I would love it if he did an Expendables film.
Oh, yeah, of course. And I'm sure, I mean, Did we look at? Did you research? I didn't.
couldn't
I
find
should have.
anything specific of.
I would have thought they had to go to him, but I mean,
Yeah.
I bet you that group is like, Stallone got with Schwarzenegger, Van Damme during that time when they all came in, and I'm sure that he was talked about, but I bet you that they were just like, no, don't.
I don't want to work with him.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. 100 people die in the film. The Playboy featured is from July of 1989. It features Erica Liniak from, of course, the film. She really was Miss July in 1989. That same Playboy can famously be seen in Home Alone when Kevin breaks into Buzz's room and sees that centerfold for the first time. And now, help us out here, because Marcus and I researched this, did we not, Marcus?
Yeah, we couldn't find it anywhere. Rookie of the Year. So we thought it was some point when they were building the boat, but, and they have like their box of goodies, but it wasn't in there. So then we thought, okay, maybe it's a locker room scene. That seems plausible. Not in there that we could find. If you can find it anywhere, if you know where this July 1989 Playboy with Erica Liniak, and it has the news reporters on the cover, same one in Home Alone. If you know where that's at, please reach out to us.
Tweet us, Instagram, BB Karate Podcast on Twitter and Instagram, and once again, BB Karate Podcast at Gmail.
Because we would love to know. And for those who do, if you send it to us, we'll send you the Playboy.
If you send us footage in Rookie of the Year of Rowan Gardner or his chubby and small friend,
I'm going to dish out $4.85 on eBay for a used 1989 July Playboy.
You know what? Let's take away social media. Let's take that out of it, because we need to find a way to an easier way to decide who gets it to us first. Send it to our Gmail, bbkaratepodcast@gmail.com, bbkaratepodcast@gmail.com. If you send us a screenshot of that Playboy in Rookie of the Year, we will send you that Playboy. So let us know, bbkaratepodcast@gmail.com. And now, maybe my favorite fact of all the research I did, and it certainly was a mainstay in my going on as a young kid, especially later when this sort of came into prominence. There was once again, no way to prove this, there is a rumor, legend, however you want to say it, video stores from all over the country reported damaged tapes from people rewinding and pausing on the Erica Liniak jumping out of the cave.
I mean, we just watched it again, yesterday, a couple days ago, and it's like I am taken back to my youth again.
I mean,
she's.
I mean, and it's so funny because you could tell. I'm sure they worked with the MPAA,
right?
And talked about but there is and I get why they paused it, because there is a solid moment. She's moving the whole time except right when she rips out open her top. She's not moving, and she's completely stationary towards the camera, and she's there for a second and then covers up immediately.
Yeah, you get a great shot.
So if you're 12, 13-year-old Marcus Hall in 92, I don't know if 9-year-old Adam was pausing movies yet, but he had seen Hellraiser, so this man was, who knows what he was.
There's only one other time that I've, and Under Siege I did pause and rewind. There's only one other time before that I had done that. You want to know what that is?
Oh, please.
You're not going to guess
it. Just like your friend in the theater.
It was Boys in the Hood.
Sure. No, I understand that.
It was Boys in the Hood, and that one scene.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Cuba Gooding Jr. and his girl, and telling Lawrence Fishburne the story, and that I remember just like it was just like, oh man, she's beautiful, and it was just. Those are like two clear times that I can definitely remember the rewind.
It's so funny. It's just so crazy to look back at the idea of pausing tape,
right?
To satisfy yourself.
and Boys in the Hood, the tracking on our VHS was so bad that it was so annoying to have to get up and do that movie. Back and forth.
Is so sad.
Oh, it is. It is. But
except this one part.
I did not care how sad. I didn't care who was getting shot. I didn't care what feuds were being had, who didn't make it into college with an NFL scholarship.
So that's sort of the backdrop of the scene. from a financial and box office standpoint, and a few of the facts behind it. Now, let's get you set up for what it was like for someone to see a movie. Let's say it's young Marcus Hall.
Please tell me it is.
It's October 9th. It's 1992. Marcus is 13 years old. He's feeling good on the 41st Friday of the year. He wakes up that morning and turns on the TV. He probably sees some political ads as the Clinton-Bush presidential race is in its final push. Let's not forget, November would crown a new president. You know, it's October, so it's chilly outside, so you put on your Arizona jeans and you throw on that sweet fucking Dallas Cowboy starter jacket, which I found in my research cost about $150 at the time. Can you imagine how upset parents were that this was the style?
Oh, man.
Oh. So you load up in your parents' car, they turn on the radio, Boyz II Men, End of the Road comes on because it's the #1 song of the nation, rightfully deserved, but your parents are driving, so they switch it to country because they don't like rap music. So you pull up, you're listening to the #1 country song when you pull up to school. It's called In This Life by Colin Ray. You step out in your fresh BK Nights Derek Coleman's. DC. And while at school, you probably overheard everyone talking about the upcoming World Series, Blue Jays versus Braves, with the first game coming up on October 17th. But people are still buzzing a bit over the Dream Team's final gold medal victory over Croatia. We're talking Jordan, Bird, Magic, all those awesome McDonald's commercials. It was incredible. Or maybe the gossip is about the dastardly Ric Flair being WWF champion for a second time after he beat The Undertaker on a taping of Superstars, I believe, and he would soon lose that championship on a house show, which is an untelevised show in Saskatoon. Do you know who he lost it to?
I have no... You're the wrestling guy.
It was the first title reign of Bret the Hitman Hart.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Bret the Hitman Hart, he's like... And he is a like, Hall of Famer in wrestling. Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, okay.
He is. He's a big guy. But you heard the name, Bret.
Oh, yeah, I knew who he is, but I couldn't remember how big he is.
So because Ric Flair was basically leaving the company soon after that, he dropped that title to Bret in a house show. So, Marcus probably spends the day drawing those cool S's in his Trapper Keeper.
All about that Stussy.
That Stussy, that cool S. Looks oddly medieval. In his Trapper Keeper is probably covered by some type of cool car.
Yeah.
But Marcus can't wait for the days to be over because he's going to get dropped off at the movies tonight to see Under Siege. And sure, he could have stayed home and watched TGIF, which was running a killer lineup at the time between 8 and 10 p.m. That night, Family Matters kicked it off with the episode titled Driving Carl Crazy, something to do with Steve Urkel, I'm sure. Followed by Step by Step, the episode titled JT's World. And of course, Step by Step also starred future kickboxing franchise star Sasha Mitchell.
Yeah.
But no, just like Casey Ryback, Marcus had a mission, and that mission was to see the brand new released action film. So the time eventually came to get there, and he got dropped off by himself at a movie theater, because that just was a different time, obviously.
Didn't have to worry about anything back then.
Yeah, your parents gave you $10 because the movie ticket was sitting right around a sweet $4.50 at the time. But you get to use all that extra money for snacks. Your snack choices that night were between popcorn, Coke, or one of the hottest selling candies of the year, Butterfinger BBs.
Not a fan.
Not a fan?
No.
Yeah, I get it. Butterfinger's tough to eat. A lot of teeth work.
Was a Junior Mint guy.
Yeah. I get
Breath
that.
good, in case there was a kiss
just
afterwards.
In case you sat in the back, watched the ladies leave.
Right.
So, maybe you skim a little bit on the treats, because what you really want to do is play that sweet arcade they got. So you survey the options, and you see the line for Lethal Enforcers is too long. So you do a second lap, but you see a new game. That's right.
What is it?
A game that was released only one day before, October 8th, 1992. And this game looks different. There's blood. And suddenly you hear the game talk to you, and it says, finish him. It commands you to kill a man. And so you see a blue ninja rip the spine out of a yellow ninja. You put your quarter down to claim the next game and wait to play Mortal fucking Kombat. What a month, God, in history. Why do we not talk more about October of 1992?
You think Halley's Comet, you think Hail Bob, you think volcanoes and things that have happened. No, this was the culmination of puberty right here. This was
really hit
this was
hard.
Everything.
I mean, just how lucky were you to go through this, I mean, you see Mortal Kombat. Of course, Marcus loses very quickly.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
And what sucks is the computer didn't even do a finishing move, which is always the worst.
Yeah.
So Marcus dashes to the theater, set up shop close to the center in the back, and the trailer starts. Oh, those damn trailers. You were probably seeing trailers from Mr. Baseball, The Mighty Ducks, Conquest of Paradise,
Skip it.
Candyman, Passenger 57, and The Bodyguard, and of course Bram Stoker's Dracula. Then the theater somehow gets darker, even though all the lights were already turned off.